Welcome to FacingMelsMusic.com podcast, featuring some of the most heartwarming stories from musicians all around the world on FacingMelsMusic.com.
A very warm welcome to Facing Mel's Music. I'm Mel Golding, and I have with me the wonderful Gregg Lee from Paisty Jenny. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you. And like I said, I was looking at because you are pretty heavy rock band, right?
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, I wouldn't call us metal, but we're rock. We're alt rock and like to have fun with it.
It's sort of borderline.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing. I love it. It's great. It's been described as being very high energy, hasn't it? And you're on stage as well. Yeah. And you're the vocalist, is that right? And guitarist?
Yep. Vocalist and rhythm guitars, acoustic guitars. Yep.
Right. Fantastic.
Master of ceremonies.
Wonderful. Yeah. Because as I was saying, I wasn't sure who I was going to meet. I thought, which one is Gregg Lee? I was still thinking, I don't know why. I like to know who I'm talking to before I talk to him.
It makes sense.
It does, doesn't it?
A little easier that way, I suppose.
Yeah.
A little more prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So how are you feeling about everything? How's things going with your music? Have you had a recent release? Is it a CD you've released?
Yeah, we've a couple singles actually that just recently came out, and they seem to be doing pretty well for us. Kind of excited for it.
Wonderful.
We've been at it for a lot of years and kind of took a break for a while. Just give you a little overview. Took a little break for a few years, a little hiatus. Got kind of burned out on the road and did that for a long time. And so took a little break, and now we're back and kind of after it again after a few years. And got a couple new singles out.
That's great.
Hands Up is the name of one of them. And then we've got One Love, and they're both doing pretty well.
Yes, I heard Hands Up as well. Yeah, great. Yeah, it's really good. It's fantastic. You've been going since 2004, is that right? From memory?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, great. So how did you get together? What happened? How did that happen?
Well, this is going to sound crazy, but I went to my high school class reunion and put together just the group of guys that we used to jam with, my old high school band back in the day. And after doing that and jamming at the reunion, it's like, oh my gosh, this is kind of in my blood. Why did I put it on the back burner? I was raising kids and stuff like that, and had a family, of course, but it just sort of happened, and about 6-8 weeks later, I guess I should say, I had written about 30 songs right after that class reunion.
Wow.
Oh, and it was like, well, I probably should put a band together now.
Okay.
So that's kind of where Paisty Jenny started, and just started pulling together musicians that I had either worked with in the past, or a couple new people came on board early. And now I've gone through a little mix of people, but we've had a pretty solid lineup now for quite a while, and it's been great. So that's kind of the way it started.
That's how the band started, I guess. That is how the band started.
Yep.
What about you? I mean, your early experiences, what was that like? I mean, when did you personally get into music? Like, was it before this time? Was it like as a kid? Were you interested in music?
Oh yeah. I've been in music my whole life. Parents raised me that way. Second grade, mom put me on the piano.
Really?
Yeah. So my brother as well. And through school and high school, did all the band and the marching band and jazz band type stuff. And of course, my real learning experience on guitar was actually in church.
Oh,
yeah. We had a group of kids and a couple of the moms that were teaching guitar class. Oh. And I just took off, and I don't know, my parents. In fourth grade, they bought me my first guitar, and it was just a cheap little acoustic guitar, and I couldn't put it down. So a year later, they bought me a nice one.
Oh, lovely! So how old would you have been then?
Fourth grade.
What's fourth grade?
I don't know. What is fourth grade?
What is fourth grade? I'm trying to think what that might be. I don't think it's different over here.
Like 8 or something? I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. My daughter's in 6th now, and she's 10. So a couple of years back, so about 8 years of age. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Young. Mm.
it's been great. And my poor mother, I put her through the ringer all these years touring. You know,
Oh dear.
but
She's supportive of your
yeah,
music, though,
yeah,
surely.
yeah.
Mm.
Now she's been gone for a while, bless her heart. But
Okay, I'm very sorry to hear that.
she was supportive. But
Yeah.
I know she was a little worried, scared for me for a while.
Why was that then? That's interesting.
Well, I think just the road and the lifestyle and that's
Yeah.
probably not where she envisioned
Yeah.
her little boy's music career being,
Right.
that. But in a rock band, it's a different world.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it gets a little crazy, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" So
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Parents and this worry around their kids getting into music, and how music is as a career is seen as danger zone.
yeah,
Isn't
yeah,
it? And parents tend to, understandably, want them to get into careers like that are going to be more, I guess, sustainable, I guess, realistic in their views. So it feels like your mum had a little bit
right,
of this mindset going on, a worry for you,
yeah,
obviously, but
yeah.
it turns out great. I mean, you've been doing this now for years,
Long time.
now, a long, long time, and it's proving successful, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
you're busy. You've got these songs out. How are they going? How's it all going? Are you doing performances as well? Live performances?
Yeah, we over the holiday here, we took a little bit of break here, but getting ready to get back out in March. We
Mm,
did a little tour with a band called Blacklight District
yeah.
before the first of the year, or like I guess it was November-ish, and so we were out on the road a little bit again
Yeah.
last year, and did a bunch of shows. And this year was kind of stacking up with some new tour dates and such, but we don't hit it
Mm.
again until the beginning of March, and then they start rolling in again. So
Oh wow. Okay. And I bet you love it, don't you? Being on stage, and I mean, haven't seen videos, but I've seen pictures, and it looks like you're in your element.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's where
Yeah.
I come alive, and yes, that is my element. There's no
That's
doubt.
your element.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel freedom? I mean, is it a sort of a place to kind of really let loose?
Yeah, it really is. It's
Mm,
great. It's cathartic, and
mm,
connecting when you get a connection with a crowd, and
mm,
the energy starts going back and forth.
mm.
There's no better feeling in the world. It's just
So
great to be up there, and I just feel privileged to be able to do it.
it's fabulous, isn't it? Yeah, it feels quite electric, doesn't it? There's
Yeah,
something about that sort of transaction of just putting something out, giving. There's so much you get out of that for yourself anyway, but giving and then getting back, it feels like it's just so fulfilling.
yep, it's very
Yeah.
true. It really is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it just feels good, and like I say, it's
Yeah.
my element. I just come alive there.
Yeah.
Kind of
Wonderful.
kind of have two personalities, and I don't know. I think maybe musicians. Well, maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. For me, I do. I'm pretty business oriented on this side, and then when I get on stage, look out. I'm a very aggressive vocalist and performer.
Hmm.
So get pretty crazy. I've climbed on some scaffolding in my day, and
Taking risks by the sounds of it there, Greg.
yes, and stage tops, and Greg's standing on the speakers again.
Brilliant. I love it. But it's very interesting what you say there, because that's really interesting to me. I love looking into this in more depth, actually, in terms of studying this, in terms of personas. And, you just sort of lightly touched on this. Are there two personas, in terms of identity? Is this like would you describe it as an alter ego? I mean, how would you describe that when you're doing silly things like jumping on speakers and, I don't know, do you smash guitars as well? I mean, feels like a waste of money doing that.
I have once, but that gets a little costly. So
I was going to say, yeah. What do you think about that, though, in terms of persona and identity? Does it unleash something in you?
yeah, I think it really does.
Mm,
It just like you said, it's really where I come alive, and it is a different kind of kind of thing, I guess, mentally. I mean, back in the day, I mean, I've been doing music for a lot of years. One of my first touring bands ever, our agent had us go through what they called rock school.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, they had us on a sound stage for a week and taught us all kinds of things as far as performing and proper way to, I mean, literally like be a rock star, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was all about, you know, when you're with the audience or you're with the crowd, like off stage, you just have to be the nicest guy in the world. You're personable. You got to make sure you're getting along with those fans and you know, talking to them, spending time with them and being their buddy. But when you get on stage, boom, rock star, that changes and it's all attitude, you know? And it's so fabulous. That's how I've lived my life, I guess.
Yeah, that's nice though, isn't it? I mean, I was in a rock band once some years ago, and I remember thinking you just wouldn't dream of doing this anywhere else, but on stage, for some reason, it's respected, you know. Yeah. And that's like just turning your back on the audience, you know. Literally, right. You know, you're rocking it out and then you just turn away and then you show them your back, you walk off stage and you come back on when you feel like it. All this attitude, and they love it. Yeah. And they love it, right? Yeah. And they want more.
It's true. The industry has changed, though, a lot in the last decade because, you know, it used to be that entertainers, musicians, whatever, rock stars, whatever, however you want to call it, had a persona that was kind of mysterious. And, you know, there was a little distance there. You couldn't reach out and touch them, you know, so much. And it was just so there was this mystery about it. But now with social media and everything, it's like it's almost a requirement for musicians to be your best friend, you know, and chit chat with you on social media and that kind of thing. So that mystique has kind of faded away a little bit.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the social media aspect has added a new angle to all of this.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. And how you getting on with that? Do you have like Instagram accounts and are you running what kind? Yeah, you got it all. I take it.
Yeah, for the most part. Although I don't want to spread myself too thin on that. You know, you get as much as you can, but you know, we our audience, because we're, you know, a little bit older band, and so our audience tends to be Facebook, Instagram. You know, I don't do TikTok or any of those, but you know, that's kind of where we spend our time.
Yeah. And you enjoying it? Is it enjoyable?
Yeah. There's no doubt. I mean, it's fun communicating with fans and getting to know people a little bit.
That's amazing.
More of a personal level. It is different though. It's very different, you know.
Right.
So today I used to have my name unlisted in the phone book because I didn't want people to find me.
Yes.
But now you're just everybody's buddy.
Yes, okay. And that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of this interaction sort of, like you say, takes away that mystery, but it makes you more accessible, more reachable, I think, is what you're talking about. And do you think that's better? Is that been better, do you think? I mean, comparing to the, you know, the older days to the new days. I mean, I'm also from the older days as well. You know, do you think that it's better now, or do you prefer it before? What's your preference, or do you not have a preference?
It's just different. I don't know if better is the right word, but I mean, it's cool when you get to know somebody and someone reaches out and they've been touched or affected by your music or something you've written. You know, that's really, I guess, very, very endearing and very gratifying when people appreciate your music and it's changed their life in some way or another. It's when you hear comments or have conversations like that, really feels good. So yeah, that's a really good side of it, no doubt. It definitely takes more effort to be a musician these days. You spend your time on those types of things, you know, on those platforms, and you know, you do have to make an effort that way, which never existed before. But it's fun, and yeah, it can be really gratifying that way.
Oh, that's really lovely. Yeah, it's very rewarding. It sounds very rewarding. And how wonderful that must feel to get a comment like that about how your music's touched them or touched their lives. And that must feel amazing to actually reach someone on that level, because that's quite deep, isn't it? It's quite a spiritual level, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that really feels great when you hear comments.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Your songs. Tell me about the songs and who are the writers?
Well, we all write together as a group. We'll bring, some ideas here and there. This is going to sound really funny, but I have a lot of songs come to me when I'm either in the shower or just getting ready to go to bed.
That's convenient.
Okay. I don't know why, but it's just I have song. I write from a little bit different perspective. I guess I hear melodies and I hear big choruses in my head.
Right.
And when I have something like that pop into my head, it's kind of weird. I don't want to get too deep here, but I think I've given these things. They're handed to me it's more of a spiritual thing. I think God hands me a song idea, and then it's my job to mold that and turn it into something, and so I feel a responsibility sometimes. So, if I have a song idea, I'm laying in bed, all of a sudden, boom, this chorus pops into my head. I'll jump up and hit my phone and immediately record what I'm hearing in my head. And then bring that to the band. And now Stan, our lead guitar player, he writes from a different perspective in that he writes guitar riffs, and occasionally I do that as well, but he writes guitar riffs and I'll hear something and then drop a chorus. I'll hear something and put a line on top of that. And, so we go back and forth different ways, and then we all bring our ideas to the table and it turns into Paisty Jenny.
Lovely. Lovely. Oh, that just really, I love to hear that when you say it was given to me. I mean, I've also had this experience. Do they come to you also in dreams? Have you ever dreamt a song? Has it been delivered to you in this way as well?
Yeah, I think I've had that occur to me. It has happened before. Last night I had a scary dream, though. I dreamed we went on stage and we didn't have a set list. I was like, what?
What a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are we doing? There was no song inspiration in that.
Oh dear. Hopefully that won't happen.
Right.
Going on unprepared. But yeah, it's interesting because that's but being given to you, that just getting back to that, and it's these ideas, and they come to you when you're actually not sitting down at the keyboard or with the instrument. It's when you're doing other things and your mind, I guess, is just freeing, isn't it? And that's when it happens, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's really, I'm not sure how or why that happens, but that's the way it works for me anyway. I don't know about other people, but that's the way it works on my end.
Yeah, no, definitely for me too. Absolutely. Which is what's quite exciting.
When you have those moments of inspiration, you have to capture them. Whatever you're doing, you stop and you like I said, I pick up my phone and boom, 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 turn the recorder on and I capture it right then and there. And I've got just dozens of short little snippet ideas in my phone, probably hundreds, and then I'll go back to them and, like I said, mold it, build it.
It's great. It's great. Has it happened to you in the middle of the night? I mean, that's very inconvenient.
It is, but yes. Yeah, maybe like you said, wake up from one of those dreams and go, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's very funny, isn't it? It happens to me too in the middle of the night, but the voice isn't awake, so it's all croaky. So what's in the head isn't necessarily coming out.
Yeah, it doesn't always translate.
No, not really. But it's but like you say, it feels like it's a gift, and it's something that you have a responsibility to actually make that happen, turn that into music. I read somewhere on your site about the messages. Your songs have messages. And they're deep messages. Do you want to tell me a little more about that? Like what kind of messages that you give across? I mean, I've seen, this prima donna here that I do want to talk about at some point, but some interesting language in there. But what are your messages? I mean, I know it probably varies, but tell me a bit more about the messages, the importance of that as well.
I don't know, maybe part of it comes with age, but feeling a little bit more responsibility to put some messaging out there a little bit these days. Past releases we've done and albums have maybe been more in your face, and there's a lot of angst there when I was younger, but now I feel like there's a little bit more commentary that I want to make, I guess, maybe. I think like with Hands Up, for example, I think it's a real inspirational track for uncertain times.
Okay.
And it's just really it's about it's a real banger and just a real hype song, if you will. But
Yeah.
it's about you taking control of your life and being the
Mm.
best person you can be, and
Right.
get your hands up and do what you do. And so
Mm.
that's kind of the way I felt about that one. Now,
Mm.
One Love is somewhat similar in that way, but it's more about, I guess, coming together in a changing world, because we are in a world of craziness right now. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's very uncertain times, and
Yeah.
I think it's about there's so much division. We just need to come together, because there's that's how we grow, and how we how we make change in this world, is just simply come together.
Yes.
Our producer Clinton Coonahan, he's from Another Lost Year, and also toured with Blacklight District. I think he found a little bit different, I guess, just audio sonic signature to these songs for us this time that we didn't have before. I've always wanted to push for a more of a modern rock feel in our sound, and which we've always had some of that, but there's always been a lot of 80s influences that have come in over the years and such, because we grew up in that, and right, that's the way it is. But I was pretty excited that we pushed the envelope a little bit more on these new songs in that direction. So, but yeah, I think that's a pretty positive message coming through. You just gotta stand and listen for it.
Yeah, very, very cool. And it's interesting what you say there about the state of the world and where we're at. And I think, again, on that spiritual plane, you're talking about this coming together. And so there's some message you're really filtering through. You're using music as a medium to reach people in a very positive way, is what I'm hearing,
Yeah,
which is fantastic. It's
yeah,
great. It's
that's the whole
great.
idea. Certainly love to rock. A lot of people like to rock, but there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with putting a good message in there.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. So a bit of a combination. You've got to have your fun as well. I mean, there is that other song. I don't know how old that is, the Prima Donna one. How old is that one?
Yeah, for sure. That's the way it goes. I don't know. Um,
It's further back,
One
isn't it?
Love was just I don't know, both of those songs, quite honestly, they
Yeah.
just handed to me, and I just had to do something with them. It was great.
Yes. Okay. So it does kind of really reflect the times, doesn't it? The music obviously reflects the times. Lyrical content reflects your feelings, and you just channel that into your music. Hence, music now might look quite different to 10, 15 years ago, because it's a different feeling, different times,
Yep,
different version of yourself, I guess.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I actually released a single on my own here
Oh.
recently as well,
Mm.
and it's called "Love Came Down," and it's kind of a continuation of those three songs.
Yeah.
So it's sort of fit together. It's just strictly acoustic and me singing. So it's not Paisty Jenny, but it was.
Okay.
I thought, you know what, this is a good song. I'm putting it out on my own. So
Oh, wonderful. Where can we hear that then?
yeah.
Is it on
Yeah, it's
Spotify?
available on, yeah, you can, like YouTube, you can get it on YouTube, but I haven't put it on our website yet, which I think I
Right.
need to. I felt a
Yeah.
little odd because it's me more solo, but I don't
Right.
think there's anything wrong with putting it on our website, so I think I will.
I think so. It sounds slightly different. Sounds a bit more mellow. Is that right? It's not
Yep,
acoustic, you say. So it's another side to you.
yep, for
It's
sure.
right. So you're displaying the band in several angles, I guess, by
Mhm.
putting that out. You're balancing out the message of the band, which seems, yeah, varied. Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Loud
absolutely.
and proud, loud and proud. Greg, you mentioned also you had a family. You have a family?
I do, I
And
do.
what's it been like
Yeah.
raising a family and balancing that out?
Well,
Being
they're
a
all grown up now, so that's good.
Okay,
um,
wonderful.
But yeah, that was no doubt a challenge. There's no
Yeah,
doubt about that. So yeah,
right.
kids bring a awful lot of responsibility, and
Mm,
great things, and a lot of
mm,
work too. So
yeah. And it's balancing life, isn't it? Because this is another thing I like to look at is the fact that, on stage, off stage, you know,
yep,
behind the scenes as
for
well.
sure.
And the fact that there's life that's happening as well simultaneously whilst you're making music, excuse me, whilst you're rocking it out on stage. There's other stuff going on, which is that other version of you.
Yep, that's absolutely
And
true.
yeah,
You
and
know,
yeah.
that whole life work balance sometimes,
Mm,
I don't know, sometimes I guess in the past I wasn't very good about it or very good at it maybe,
mm,
because I feel, and you know, I feel this about anything a person takes on. If you have something that you love, or whatever it might be, a project or a new business you're starting, or whatever the
yeah.
case is, to be successful in anything in life,
Mm,
you do have to have a laser focus for a period of time. Doesn't mean that's
yeah.
the way forever, but that that's
Yes.
extremely important to
Yeah.
launch anything.
It
It
is, isn't
has
it?
to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Intense focus. Absolutely. Yeah. To put your all into something, whatever that is,
Yeah,
to try and
exactly.
get that off the
Sometimes,
ground. Yeah.
right, but unfortunately, sometimes others in
Yeah.
your life kind of pay the price for that too, though,
Mm,
you know, so that's interesting. Trying to you know, do your best and make up for things you maybe weren't there for or whatever as you go.
mm,
It's just,
yeah. Yes, yes. But you get through it, don't you? And this is it. And the experience, and you're experienced, and you've been there, you've done that, you've gone through all of that, and now you're here. How does it feel being where you are now? Because it feels like you've gone through that part of your life. You're in another stage of your life, and it feels like you're really coming out with brand new stuff. It feels quite exciting, like a new beginning almost. It's
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
There's no doubt. It does feel like a new beginning,
Mm,
the cool part though is we do have this track record, and
mm.
um, so we're not starting over,
No.
but just starting
Mhm.
fresh.
Mm. I
You
like
know,
that.
that's
Refreshed.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So goals, your goals for the future, goals, near goals. What are they? What are your goals?
Well, I think what we want to do here with the band this year is obviously do some more touring, but we're looking, you know, trying to work on some placement for some of our music. Some of the record, our last full record we put out was called 18 Days in Weed,
I was going to ask
and
you about that. Hmm.
yeah, and that record, a lot of the music on there was purposely written with the idea of getting some sync licensing
Fantastic.
for some movies and some soundtracks and things like that. And so
Mm.
we're working some of that music and trying to accomplish that. That was an interesting project. Excuse
Mm.
me. We recorded that we had two co-producers on that. Sylvia Massey. She's done. She was responsible for the huge selling Tool album,
Mm.
System of a Down, Seven Dust, Red Hot Chili Peppers. She worked with
Yes.
Prince for years.
Yeah.
And she teamed up with our original producer who did some of our earlier material, Michael Beck. He's
Mm.
like Jakey Lee's Red Dragon Cartel and such.
Yeah.
So he's a friend of ours from back in the day. We grew up together. And so that was an interesting
Mm.
record to put out at that time. And it was recorded at Sylvia Massey's, it's called Loud Palace in Weed, California. So that's why
Yeah.
the title 18 Days in Weed.
Yes. Yeah, that's brilliant. I love it. That's so cool. That is really good. That's great. You've got a lot of people, you've had a lot of people, important people involved in your journey, haven't you? Working with some amazing talent.
Yeah, for sure. We've been very
Mm,
fortunate to be
yeah.
surrounded with some great people, and
Mm.
it's been a great experience, no doubt. Looking forward to more.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. So basically the goals are to plan for touring. I mean, whereabouts are you based? Where are you now?
We're based out of Lincoln, Nebraska, so we're
Yes.
right in the absolute dead center of the United States. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I must come and visit sometime.
There you go.
It would be amazing.
It's cold here, though. Well,
Is it
actually,
all?
today's warm. It's in the 30s today. So um,
Wow.
we
Okay.
actually, literally, the last couple of weeks, we've had sub-zero temperatures.
Oh,
We had a day that actually the temperature in Fahrenheit hit 20 below, and
ugh.
we had a lot of snow. So you might want to wait if you're going to come visit till the summertime.
Yeah, I will do, definitely. But you're all there, aren't you? You're all there, so you can all get together.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. You can all think that's fabulous, fabulous. And in terms of, would you have any special messages to young people who might be starting out? Okay, because some audiences here might be young musicians who are looking to start out. Any tips or any messages that you might want to give to young people starting out in the music industry on their projects, on their journey?
Sure. Well, I think, as mentioned, laser focus. If you're going to do it, do it. Don't mess around with it. Initially, you want to play anywhere and everywhere, and just get out there and get that exposure while you can. But I do notice, I've noticed that a lot of bands, though, kind of, and I get it because they're trying to get that exposure, et cetera. But a lot of bands kind of cheap out. They'll play for peanuts, and sometimes that's bad for the industry, in my opinion.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I've always, quite honestly, asked for what I feel the band is worth as far as getting paid, because that's a perception thing. People, if you're not willing to ask for whatever it is you're asking, that's what people think you're worth.
Exactly.
And so I put some value on what we do. I feel that our music and what we do does have some value. So I'm not afraid to ask for that proper price for what we do. Whereas I think a lot of bands have kind of hurt the industry because they aren't willing to do that. And so, I don't know, that's a different kind of discussion, but that's, I think ask for what you're worth, that's your business model. That's your and the industry is that's another thing too. The industry's changed so much with streaming and all that kind of stuff. That's the finance in the music industry are just so different than they used to be.
Oh, I know. It's the monetization, isn't it, of all of this? It's just changed so much, and you can still go out and do gigs and get paid. Yes, you still do that, and for sure you can do that, but there's other ways of monetizing. But that's a really important message, and I think thank you for that. Thanks for sharing that message, because it's about self-worth. It's about your worth and what you think you're worth, and there's some message in that, isn't there? When you're going out and you're charging, like you say, peanuts or something, you're saying you're worth that. So I think that's really super important, and I think it's vital to hear that. So
So I think so. You got to start somewhere, but then, once you start growing, make sure you're asking what you deserve.
Yeah. And go for it is what I'm hearing as well. Go for it. Don't mess around. Take it seriously. Have fun, but focus and do it and get on with it. And put it out there.
Yeah. Nowadays you have to wear every hat. That's the crazy thing. You gotta wear, well, I guess I always have, but there's a lot more hats to wear nowadays in the industry. So
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Gregg, it's been absolutely wonderful talking with you. And thank you very, very much for coming and for sharing. And I look forward to hearing your stuff and maybe even playing a song, if that's okay. If there was something you wanted me to play, which one would you want me to play?
Oh, I'd say right now, go for Hands Up.
Hands Up it is.
Hands up. Woo.
Here we go.
Go, take it. The news headlines.